Hey Bulldogs, we often have the question, how much am I going to have to owe for the fall quarter? So today we're going to go over the difference between your financial aid offer and your student account or expense slip that you will see on your boss account. On the left-hand side, you're going to see your sample financial aid offer. If we were to print it in our office, when you look on NetPartner, the layout may be a little bit different, but the information is going to be identical. On the right side, you will see what a sample student expense slip that you will see after you have registered for classes on your boss account. Like I mentioned before with NetPartner, the layout may look a little bit different, but it's going to be exactly the same. On your financial aid offer, you're going to see the amount for a cost of attendance. So if you do the cost of attendance calculator on our website, a lot of people see this amount, which is a very large amount. For this student, it's $24,465, and they have a little bit of a sticker shock. You're not actually owing that amount to the university. That amount is for the whole year, but the cost of attendance includes tuition and fees, housing and meals, books and supplies, transportation, and other miscellaneous costs. These are based on a 10-hour average and include indirect cost and direct cost. For example, tuition and fees is a direct cost. Housing and meals, if you live on campus, would be a direct cost as well. Indirect costs would be books and supplies, transportation, and other miscellaneous costs. Transportation, students, it costs them whether they live on campus or off campus to get from their home to the university and back. So that's why both on campus and off campus have this transportation. Miscellaneous costs include things like medical, clothing, cell phone bills, etc. This student is offered the free aid is the federal Pell Grant. So for fall quarter, it's $2,115. Winter quarter, it's the same. Spring, for a total of $6,345. The TOPS award is $1,851 for fall, winter, and spring for a total of $5,553, with a stipend of $400 for the year, $133 for fall, winter, and then $134 for spring. This student was also awarded an outstanding student scholarship for a total of $2,500 for the year, and you can see where it's broke down for each quarter. And you can see the amount of free aid for each quarter. So this student has $4,933 in free aid for the year for a total of $14,798. The next are loans. The direct subsidized loan and the unsubsidized loan is $1,500 for the subsidized loan for each quarter for $4,500 total. And then the $2,000 for the unsubsidized loan is what this student was offered. And you can see the total amounts. The direct Parent Plus loan, which is in the parent's name and they do have to do a plus application, is awarded out there for students that fills up to their cost of attendance. Our office is required to offer the maximum amount of loans that a student is eligible for. So what's out here is the maximum amount. We can reduce that loan where the student is, or you can decline part of this where the student is only borrowing the amount that they actually need. We strongly encourage students to only borrow what they need. So when you are trying to determine how you should respond to your financial aid offer, you can look at your student expense slip. So you will see the tuition amount for 10 hours is $1,851 for an undergraduate student. You'll see the 10-hour fees of $1,564, the technology fee, energy surcharge, their college fee. So this student is an applied natural science student, so they're charged a $35 fee for the quarter, their lab fee, and this student is on campus, so they have $1,000, and then they're all for their dorm, regular dorm, they have their all access meal plan of $1,225. So for the total amount for this student for the fall quarter is $5,840. So first, you obviously want to take out the free aid that the student's eligible for. So you're going to subtract their outstanding student, then their TOPS award, their stipend, and this student would still have a balance of $3,022. Next, you want to subtract out, if you were awarded Pell, the amount for the fall quarter. So this student had $2,115 for Pell, so you would write that out below the amount. And so this student would still owe $907. Then, if you're not able to cover that amount out of pocket, then you would want to consider loans. The first loan you want to look at is the direct subsidized loan. So you would subtract that loan. And so the amount is $1,500. Now note that loans do have origination fees, so the amount that would actually disperse and show on your student account would be a little bit less. But if you were to just do rough estimates, you would subtract the subsidized loan for $1,500 for the fall quarter next, and the student would have a refund of $593. Now, if you needed additional funds to help cover your books, you can use that. If you were able to cover your books and you want to reduce the loan and say you only wanted to take out $1,100 a quarter instead of the total $1,500, you can do so. If you needed additional and the subsidized loan did not cover your total balance, then you would want to consider taking out the unsubsidized loan. And you would do the same and subtract that amount. Note that if you decline a loan now and you need to request it in the future, if it's in the middle of fall quarter, later in winter, or even in the spring quarter, you can request loans that were previously declined, even if it was partial amounts, back at a later point. You can also decline loans that you have previously accepted, and you can decline future or cancel future disbursements. So maybe you received a refund fall quarter and you no longer need it, or you are awarded a late scholarship and you want to decline or reduce those loans, you can do that for the winter and spring quarters later down the road. If you have questions, feel free to contact the financial aid office. Our counselors are happy to go over this with you and help you determine what's best suits your needs, because there's no two situations alike. The only difference between in-state students and out-of-state students is the out-of-state fee. So you will notice the out-of-state fees will be averaged into the cost of attendance and is also listed on your student expense. If the student is eligible for the Bulldog out-of-state fee scholarship, you will notice that it will equal out the same amount that the student's charged. So this student is charged $2,971 for the out-of-state fees. Their Bulldog equals that amount, so it automatically cancels out. Thank you.